Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. And today I'm diving into something, well, it's a little bit drama in the world of MMA, mixed martial arts. Gina Carano. Yes, that Gina Carano, a true pioneer in women's mixed martial arts, was left off of the list that was released over the weekend by ESPN, listing MMA's most influential women in the sport. And needless to say, it sparked a little bit of a debate. Even UFC President Dana White chimed in on this one. So let's break down the backstory, the reactions, and what all this means for women's MMA history. And I'm specifically going to go to an article from thatparkplace.com to kind of guide us along the way. So stick around because this one's a head scratcher. So let's start off with the list itself. Over the weekend, ESPN MMA dropped a piece called "These Stars Changed Women's MMA in the 21st Century." They highlighted fighters like Amanda Nunes, Ronda Rousey, basically for shattering stereotypes and taking the sport to new heights. Sounds great, doesn't it? Well, one teeny tiny little problem. Yeah, Gina Carano, who many, including myself, consider her to be the trailblazer, the OG in women's MMA. She was left completely off the list. This is the same Gina Carano who headlined the first major women's MMA event back in 2009 against Cris Cyborg. That fight drew 576,000 views on Showtime, setting a new MMA ratings record for the network with a peak of 856,000 viewers. Now, this was a game changer, proving women's MMA could draw big numbers. So, why does Gina's exclusion matter? Well, let's just talk about her career and her impact on the sport. From 2006 to 2009, Gina fought in Elite Extreme Combat and Strikeforce, racking up an impressive 7-1 record. She became so popular that she was dubbed the face of women's MMA at the time, even though she humbly rejected the title. Her presence in the sport helped legitimize women's MMA, paving the way for fighters like Ronda Rousey to become household names. In fact, in 2025, Ronda Rousey appeared on the Kurt Angle show, and she herself called Carano a pioneer, saying she's the only fighter she'd come out of retirement to face. And we would all love to see that fight, Gina versus Ronda. Just saying. Carano didn't just stop at fighting. No. She transitioned into acting, starring in films like Haywire. Great movie, check it out. And even playing Cara Dune in The Mandalorian. Her influence is undeniable. And I'm going to add a couple other movies. She was in Fast 5 or Fast 6? There's so many of them, I can't remember. And also, don't forget, she was in Deadpool. Now, let's get to the heart of this story, shall we? In fact, let me pull the article up here real quick. If they didn't link to it. Okay. So, my bad. UFC President Dana White, he chimed in about this. He commented on ESPN MMA's Instagram post saying Carano's exclusion was insane. White has been a longtime supporter of Carano, and even mentioning in a 2024 episode of the Pete and Sebastian show that she pursued MMA despite coming from a wealthy family, which he found inspiring. Cris Cyborg also jumped in on X, calling Carano an absolute legend and reflecting on how their 2009 fight changed the sport's commercial landscape forever. Cyborg even said she hopes that their bout gets recognized in the UFC Hall of Fame someday. Fans on X have been just as vocal, with many accusing ESPN of trying to rewrite history by leaving Carano out. The comments section has been a battlefield. And you can see here, Jeremy D-Day Cobra, pathetic list. And we know why. Yeah. I'm sure here for the ratio, take your L. Gina Carano would like a word. I mean, people aren't happy about this. Where is that Gina Carano? She's a legend. Do better. So, why was Gina excluded from the list in the first place? This is where things get a little, well, just say murky. Some are pointing fingers at Disney, who, by the way, is the parent company, owns ESPN. Back in 2021, Carano was fired from The Mandalorian after posting what they deemed controversial statements on social media, including one comparing modern political climates to the Holocaust. That part placed to suggest Disney's influence might be behind Carano's omission from the ESPN list, possibly as a way to distance themselves from her. Not to mention, she has a lawsuit against Disney right now. That's, I think, set to go to Discovery here soon. ESPN hasn't made an official statement on this as of today, Monday, March the 31st. So we're left speculating. Carano's political views have made her a polarizing figure in recent years. But does that justify erasing her contributions from women's MMA? That's the big question here. So there you have it. The full breakdown of Gina Carano ESPN MMA controversy. So what do you guys think? Should Carano have been on that list? I got to give a resounding yes, but that's just me. One voice. Do you think this is a case of rewriting history, or is there more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. And with that, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.